Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the Investor Group on Climate Change for inviting me to be part of your Climate Investment and Finance Summit and help celebrate your 10th anniversary. Congratulations. In the 10 years that your doors have been opened, a lot has changed. Across the world, people, and in particular business and investors, are waking up to the risks of climate change. And they are already looking for opportunity in the low carbon, low emission space. Right now, that space is more attractive than ever. With the falling costs of clean energy tech, the rise of green investments, and the bottom line benefits of greening supply chains and operations, we're seeing a shift that shows the value proposition that underpins the change in the global economy. This is why 13 of the largest companies from across the American economy have pledged to support climate action. It is also why IKEA will give 1 billion euros to address climate change. And it is also why the largest insurers are publicly stating that business as usual will make the world uninsurable. We're also seeing this shift by those who invest. Some of the largest institutional investors, like Norway's Sovereign Wealth Fund, have analyzed their portfolios and are diversifying to avoid potentially stranded assets. Hundreds of institutions representing trillions in assets have signed the Global Investor Statement on Climate Change in support of climate policies and low carbon opportunities. Altogether, these voices from the business and investment communities are forming a surround sound effect that, if amplified to sufficient volume, governments of the world simply cannot ignore at this year's UN Climate Change Conference in Paris. And the new Universal Climate Change Agreement that will be adopted in Paris should both respond to this call for long-term certainty and reinforce the transition to a low-emission, highly resilient economic model. Each country will submit a national climate change plan, what they will do nationally to contribute to the agreement. Many of these plans include renewable energy targets, emission reduction aims, or adaptation action plans. The plans represent attractive investment opportunities for those who are wanting to act in this space. When you consider that the new climate economy report shows about $90 trillion will be invested in infrastructure over the next 15 years, these contributions begin to look like a map of potential returns on investment in clean energy, energy efficiency, and resilient infrastructure. So when Paris produces an agreement that points a long-term direction towards climate neutrality in the second half of the century, includes a finance package that de-risks private investment and ensures standard and transparent climate accounting, it will be a powerful tool for investment. Paris promises to be successful, but we can make it more successful, more effective, if in this crucial run-up to Paris we add to and amplify the call from business and investors to strengthen this emerging transformation towards low emission or no emission growth. This is why, dear friends, today I ask you to amplify the call by joining in commitment and in action. There are many options that do this. If you have not done so, I encourage you to visit the NASCA portal and see the rich breadth of investor action and add your own commitment. Join the Portfolio Decarbonization Coalition. Sign on to the Montreal Pledge or take the action most appropriate for you. And then communicate with your shareholders why this is important. And friends, the normally quiet investment community has incredible influence in local political processes. I encourage you to use your political capital today to explicitly tell policymakers that tomorrow's financial capital will flow into low-emission, sustainable assets. Let them know it is in everyone's best interest to strengthen and speed up the transition that makes those investments prosper. Success in Paris makes this possible, and you make more success in Paris possible. Together, we can update the global economy for this century and usher in a new era of responsible, sustainable prosperity and growth. Thank you, and I wish you a very productive summit.